We are back. Episode 2. Man, it's been a long time. It's been a long time coming, guys. Episode 2 of the podcast. The podcast. Maybe that's the name of it. So I still haven't named the podcast. I mean, we're still on our hunt for the name for the podcast. I've been thinking all since last episode, 2 days ago. I really am tempted to go with the unnamed podcast. I Googled that. I searched Google. I searched YouTube for the unnamed podcast, see who pops up. And a channel did pop up. It was a channel. Let's look it up for the viewers. So I went in, I typed the unnamed podcast. And these guys right here showed up. It's two of them. This one has 11 subscribers. Okay, we're good. We're still good. We can still take over this domain. And then we got this one right here. I didn't click on 50 subscribers. Oh man. 50
Hello
subs.
and welcome.
Welcome to the unnamed podcast. Okay, these guys had a pretty good run. They went for 23 episodes. That's a pretty good run, man. I'm on my second episode and I'm already like, man. You know what's funny? I looked at this one right here with 2 episodes. I didn't watch it, but I looked at it and I'm like, man, 89 views, then 43 views 3 months ago. It's like, just look at the thumbnails. They just knew they was about to be on something. They knew like, yo, this gonna be a thing right here, man. We out here bugging, yo. 2 episodes. I wonder what happened. I wonder what happened with these guys and why they stopped with their podcast. It has to be that the guys aren't like linking up or something. Like they probably got girlfriends. That's probably what happened. That's what happened with my friends when I was in my early 20s. I was doing my music when we was like booming a little bit. I slipped up and got a girlfriend, right? Aww. So what happened with this is I got a girlfriend and then they all got girlfriends too. And I said, man, all y'all got girlfriends. And I was the oldest. And they said that they got girlfriends because I got a girlfriend. I'm like, all right, man. So yeah, that's probably what happened here. They probably got girlfriends or something. Had to get distracted because I mean that's the perfect recipe for a podcast. It's for your boys sitting around, man. It's like it seems easy too. Let's check out an episode. Let's check out the first episode. Let's get that.
Anyway, I'm gonna keep it short.
Quality is not that good.
What I'm gonna say is
quality is not that good.
she used to stay after school with lessons with him in it.
Okay.
Yeah, Lord, but keep deep the fight. You know,
All these dudes is mad anxious, yo. Look at all them wiggling their
you
legs.
teach her subject anyway.
What subject was it?
She was studying like psychology.
They're mad anxious.
And
Yeah, I mean, they're younger, but they're gonna regret that they didn't keep doing this. Workplay. Yeah, man. They're gonna wish that they could. So that's the thing, man. Creating content, you gotta keep doing it because if you don't keep doing it, you're gonna wish that you did. I'm like that all the time, yo. I got other channels that I started. I got a reaction channel I started. I got a comedy channel I started that I talked about in my last episode back in 2000, maybe 9. If I would have kept doing that, anything, if you keep doing it and don't worry about the views like I'm doing over here, if you don't worry about the views, don't worry about nobody watching, you just keep doing it, it'll turn into something. It will turn into something. Somebody's gonna listen to you. So that kind of reminds me, let's look at our stats for the channel. Let's see what the stats are looking like for the channel. I don't really have that much to talk about. I was kind of worried that I wouldn't have anything to talk about. 4 minutes in, Jesus. Man, it's got a lot. We got a lot of space to cover up. Let's look at the stats. YouTube Studio. Do we have any views? Drum roll, please. And the drum roll button. What's the wrong channel? Stone Kook. I might just leave it on that. No, we don't have any views. No views yet. Now, what's crazy is it did bug out and say 1, 2, 3. These 3 had views on them, but the others didn't. And I was doing time lapse videos on this channel before then. So I was just bored. That's what happens when you're rich, man. You get bored. You just like look up, trying to find hobbies, man. I'm not really rich though. I would just say I have passive income through crypto. So as long as crypto doesn't go to zero, I'm pretty good. But this is my backup plan. So, oh yeah, I'm wearing a Balenciaga shirt. Let's address that before people get on me. I know about Balenciaga, man. I know what happened, but these shirts were purchased way before that, and I gotta get my wares in. I'm not gonna buy. I mean, I might get one. This one's still pretty fresh, so it's like let me wear it a couple more times. Started throwing my Balmain shirt, but that Balmain shirt is ran through. I might sell that on eBay. You know how I'm doing. Hey, anybody want to buy his Game Boy? Hit me up. $200. So let's look at the topics to see what we got to talk about here. PewDiePie having a baby. That's cool. PewDiePie's having a baby. Oh, what can I say about that? Congratulations, first off. Also, welcome to the club. Yes, we got another one. Yes. Like being a parent is kind of tricky because it's great and it sucks. It's great at times. It sucks at times. It's like the perfect balance of heaven and hell. And hell's a little bit more winning of the balance. So I have two children, 6 and 5. They were born right after each other. So I basically have twins. PewDiePie's having this first. I think everyone, when they have a baby, they're going into it thinking that it's going to be a lot easier. It's not easy, bro. It's literally another job that doesn't go away. It's literally a job that doesn't go away. Especially when it was really hitting now is that those early school years where you send them. I mean, PewDiePie's pretty rich, so he's probably gonna have. See, I could do the nanny too, but for one, she's gonna have to be an old lady because I'm not trying to be tempted, bro. She's gonna have to be an old, crusty lady. I don't want no young. I can't have no young nanny walking around my house, yo. I'm not gonna be put in that position, and just not knowing if they're gonna be throwing your kid. Like I've seen videos of people hitting people's kids, throwing them across the room, you know. So, but he's probably gonna have a nanny, so it probably won't be as hard on him. But getting up in the morning at 6, you know, and you really, especially if you don't have, like, for me, I don't have no reason to get up. Like, I could just sleep all day. Really, I only got up to do this shit. I just got up literally 37 minutes ago. It's 11:37. I woke up at 11. Well, maybe 10:57. So I could just stay in the bed. So getting up for that is kind of whack, man. But you gotta do it. They gotta learn, man. And they can't be sitting around here all day. Hell no. They're not about to be sitting around here all day asking me for laptops. And another thing, here's another key thing, another trap. Pewds, listen to you. I'm talking to you. Don't give your children any devices. Don't do it. Because what happened with us is, first off, the first place I messed up at was YouTube for kids. The little baby bump and all that shit. Don't do it. Find some other. Just give them toys. Little. I wish if I could go back in time, that's the first thing I would do. That's really probably the only thing I would do different because that changed the whole course of how. Mainly my son. My son is very like into like screens, kind of like me. He probably gets it from me. My daughter, she doesn't really care. You take it from her, she's like, okay, and she'll go play, do her own thing. But I would definitely say, don't even go down that rabbit hole of giving them screens and entertainment on screens, because you might have one that can't live without it. And what they don't know, if they don't know about it, that's perfect. And you can't miss what you don't know. So I would definitely say don't even do the screens, don't do tablets, because we had to take all that stuff away. Like I had to take the tablet. This is how I took the tablet from my son. This is how we took away the tablets. Hopefully he's not watching this in 20 years. So we have been trying to think of a way to take the tablets from him so he can just accept that it's gone, right? This is how he did it. Christmas came. Tablets disappeared. We said, Santa didn't like your behavior. Had to take the tablets. And he was like, that's kind of respectable. Like the way he took it was, he took it a lot better than, because he had these new toys. So it was kind of like, but now he's starting to ask like, where are the tablets? I'm like, yo, remember Santa took them. And then that's a whole nother topic right there, the whole Santa Claus. I kind of feel bad about lying about Santa Claus too. Like, man, Santa Claus, like, this is me giving you these gifts. I spent money on this stuff. Talking about some Santa Claus. I kind of regret that too. Because, I mean, not really, but hopefully they kind of like figure it out on their own when they're not too late. I got a cousin that believed it for almost through middle school. She was still thinking about Santa Claus. I had knew Santa Claus wasn't real, but I still would be like, maybe that's the trick. You know how like in the middle school years, you kind of still believe in Santa Claus? You be looking you kind of sneak downstairs. But I remember one time I came downstairs and my grandma was standing there wrapping presents. That's how I knew. It was like, oh, it's no Santa Claus. She's been doing it. That's how you do it. You wake up late at night when I'm asleep, 3 a.m, and okay. So yeah, don't do tablets. Santa Claus, give them a Christmas though. What other regrets do I have with my kids? I think the biggest one, tablets, because now they're on laptops. And now that he's starting to be, like, I took away the tablets, he was cool, playing. And then somehow he kind of like, he asked me about the laptop. Oh, he know what it was? He was wanting to get on my laptop. Like, he's wanting to press the buttons on my Mac, like scroll. I'm like, no, please don't. This is a very important laptop. And I got an old one. So I was like, you want to play on one? And this is exactly how it started. This is how it starts, man, for everything. I have an old laptop. I keep all my laptops. I don't throw them away or anything. I gave him one of my old laptops and I opened up Microsoft Paint and just let him play around on Microsoft Paint, right? But they had already knew about tablets and games, and so he was starting to ask me about Roblox. And Roblox is really what set it off. I do not like that game, man. It's like, I feel like it's just making my child stupid because it's just random. People making games of just random stupidness. It's just stupid. There's no point, no purpose, and they just stay on it. It's like, it's just making them dumb. So that's why I pulled him off of it. So then he started asking me on the laptop. Once he got the board with the paint, he's like, can I play Roblox? And I'm like, here he is. Speak of the devil. You got a sore throat? You had to come home? He just discovered the Game Boy. You said what? Can you play this? It doesn't have batteries. I don't have a game for it. Thank God. It's an old game. It's very old. I don't even know if it works. Yeah, it has physical buttons. Can you believe that? That's how it starts. You're doing something, you don't expect them, and it's like, just give them the... Don't do that. So Microsoft Paint got old, and he starts asking for Roblox. And I'm like, no. So what I did is I went on Brave browser, which is a browser that doesn't track cookies. It doesn't do all this, ads and stuff. Because what happens when you go on these game websites with these like little flash games, it'll look like other games, but it'll be an ad. So it'll block all those. So I got them playing all these little endless flash games, hundreds of flash games to keep them playing. They don't get bored ever because there's so many games they can't get bored. It's always a new game. But now, when it's time to put it away, that's where the problem is. My daughter, time to put it away. All right, I let them play for an hour, get off. It's cool. But sometimes it just doesn't want to get off of it, man. And that's when it becomes a problem. So yeah, I would say, no, I don't know. And at the same time, it's like, I don't want to be behind in technology either. So it's tough, man. It's real tough. But as far as like school and stuff, he's like really smart, weirdly smart. Like, I don't like teacher be like, what are you guys doing with him? He never gets a word wrong. He reads every word right. And I'm like, nothing. Oops. Am I supposed to be doing something? I'm supposed to be reading with my child? So yeah, he does all that stuff by himself. So yeah, Pews, I know you're a big tech guy. Don't do it. Don't give him the tablet, man. Don't turn on little baby bum. But you guys are perfect, right? Such a perfect family. I didn't even watch that video. I just saw the thumbnail. You guys are such a perfect couple. You guys will never do anything like that. Everybody's a perfect couple. You notice that? Like all these people, like these big celebrities, they're always perfect. Yeah, man. What else? I want to talk about money worshippers. Like on my other YouTube channel on Twitter, not on Twitter, but crypto YouTube. Just a bunch of money worshippers. Just sit around and talk about money all day. I mean, what am I going to say about that? Got one view. I didn't even get one view. Like it said one view on my channel, and then it like all three of these videos had one view, and then they took the one views away. It's like maybe the views were like fake or something. Maybe they gave them one view to like give them a boost to see if they would catch fire. So basically, I like growing channels from scratch. Like I used to be on Instagram. I had a Pitbull Instagram page. I would have kept doing that, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I wasn't really into pit bulls. I just knew that people love dogs and pit bulls. I just post a picture of Pitbull, and then I would like have this. I had this bot that would run in the background. I still got it actually. I still pay for that shit actually. It's $5 a month. I should take advantage of that. Should have been take like, god damn. Imagine if I would have kept doing that. That page would probably have millions of followers by now. I got to like, it was getting a lot of engagement too, because I had it so targeted. Yeah, that shit is fun to me, man. Like growing like niche pages. It's something about it, man. I kind of want to start a new one. Grow a niche page about something that I'm into. I'll grow a niche page about eBay reselling. Oh man, eBay reselling. I'm not even doing it. I'm just watching the videos. I'm just watching the videos of people doing it. Yeah, I got this for 50 cents. I sold it for $15. Like they coming up actually. It's just crazy. It's just kind of, you can't really make that much though, because eBay only allows you to list like 200 things a month. So unless you got somebody working for you, which will eat into your profit anyway, you're not going to be able to make a crazy killing. You're not going to get rich eBay selling, but it could be, it seems like it would be a fun hobby. I think the lamest part for eBay reselling, the lamest part of eBay reselling to me would definitely be returns and actually going to ship the stuff, like driving to go ship out stuff. But I bet once you get into a rhythm of how to ship stuff, like when I sold something on, I listed one thing on eBay for like $250, and it sold. It was wild. Like I listed like this old, some kind of like this right here. This shit right here. The Mick. It wasn't the Mick. It was another guy. Is it even in here? That's a whole experience on its own. When I went over there to ship that, and the dude was talking, dude was mad, mean, yo. Something like this, but it's like 3 times the size of this. Mint condition. Mint condition, the Mick, 1990s collector's flip figurine. They all talk like that too. Every reseller is like from Alabama. They're all from the South. But I sold it for $200 and I got it for practically free. And when I went to go ship it, it ate into all. It was like $50 or something like that. Maybe it was like 150. I can't remember how much I sold it for, but it really ate into my profit, man. I'm like, man, and then having to pick the right box. Yeah, like that's what turns me off about it. Like I wish I could sell it and they come pick it up in my house. That would be dope. Sell it and then they come pick it up in my house. I don't want to trying to be figuring out what size box to put it in, how to wrap it up. I guess I could just buy a bunch of boxes, buy a bunch of different size boxes. That might be the best way to go. And then, yeah, something like that. I got a bunch of stuff, man. Like I literally have a bunch. What I did is I bought all of my granddad's old sports memorabilia. Man, that's another story right there. My granddad bought the top of that market. Man, 80s, 90s. He really FOMO'd into sports memorabilia. In the 90s, sports memorabilia was really, really hot. Like, it was so hot that they had books that would tell you the value of stuff. It was like so many red flags, man. And he just bought and bought and bought. And I look at some of the prices of some of the stuff that sometimes when some of the stuff has a price on it and it's worth less now, even with inflation and everything, it's worth less now than it was that he paid. I'm like, man, he got wrecked on this stuff. I'm just looking at all these little things. I could sell them. I could list all these little things for like And what's cool for me is I can list the stuff for higher than it's really worth because I don't really care. I don't really need the money. Like that thing the one thing that I sold, I listed it for way, 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 way higher than it was worth. Like maybe 10 times what it's worth. Somebody still bought that shit. Didn't return it or anything. I just knew that was gonna be a scam, like someone's gonna return it or something. And no, man. They they kept it. So I could make a lot of money reselling probably. But listing, I just gotta find a window of time to do it. I got a bunch of cards. So basically what I did is I bought all his sports memorabilia, boxes of cards. Like it's all like I put most of it up, but some of it's still around. Like you can kind of see those things up there. These are pretty cool. These I don't really want. Here's the shot. This is a shattered. You can kind of see how big it is. It's about 2 hands, 3 hands. Don't know how much it's worth. They probably sell for like $20 online, but I put that shit for like 100, and somebody still come along and buy it one day. So that's my problem is I don't really want to let stuff go either. But yeah, I bought a bunch of his stuff for like I can't remember, maybe like 0.1 Bitcoin or something like that. I gave him Bitcoin, and I don't know how much that was worth at the time. So I actually lost so far because he got space in his house and I'm not even selling the stuff. But I mean, I made $250. So it depends on how much that Bitcoin is worth back then. Probably like 0.1 Bitcoin is like $1,000 now. So yeah, I lost so far. Well, there's a lot of stuff though. So yeah, getting no views, growing a channel from scratch. Like one subscriber. I mean, how many? It's like, and then I'm like, man, how many episodes am I really gonna do? Like I did the first episode, and then this week I've been thinking, or since the last episode, I've been thinking, man, what am I gonna talk about? And I can't really think of anything to talk about. I mean, oh, the Grammys happened. There's this one thing I wanted to talk about. This one thing I wanted to break down. This is when I go like YouTube mode. This right here, man. You guys seen this? You guys check this out. So this is something I've been trying to figure out how he did this. Hey.
Good morning.
I'm trying to figure out how he. So there's this clip of this guy at the Pro Bowl games, and he's like chopping his body in half in front of the players, doing this illusion, and I can't figure out. So it's obviously he's standing in something. It kind of looks like, you know what it looks like? It looks like this right here is not a white line. Even though the guy is standing on top of this, it looks like this is actually raised. And he's jumping behind this wall. That's what it looks like.
Good morning.
This guy right here is walking past. I think this guy might be a part of it. Like he might be part of the illusion. Because when he walks by, like you can kind of see the shadow is like kind of behind the white line a little bit. But it looks like he's jumping behind a wall. He definitely jumps down because you can see him hit the ground. Like, where are his legs at? I mean, this is Okay, so no, so it isn't. Man, this shit. I'm like, is he using the green screen? But he's doing it live. He's walking across.
Hey man,
It's definitely like some kind of. You can see him pulling down the wall of this thing. It's like he's in it, and then he jumps out of it.
good morning. Man, good morning.
Yeah, man, I can't either. Maybe he just doesn't have any legs. That's one thing that could be possible. He just doesn't have any legs. He's behind something, man. And it's like the people standing around just like, yo,
Hey man, good morning. Hey man, good morning.
I can't get it.
Hey,
I can't figure it
man, good
out.
morning.
I thought I would be able to crack it on this video. I thought that this was like some kind of raised thing and he's actually jumping down. This is lifted up. I think what it really is though, I think this right here is lifted up above the ground and he's standing at it and he's like jumping down. But I can't see because then where is, why is this not connected? The man's foot he just walked past here. He's got to be jumping in some hole or something, man. Or maybe I think it's either that or he doesn't have any legs. He's got to just like not. Hold on a second. You know what? This might be a whole suit too, because this looks like this is like risen off of his body. You know what? I think he's in this. Enhance. Can I zoom in on this? Enhance. Probably can't. Fake.
Pause.
Okay. I can't figure it out. I give up. Yes. Offset. There was a earthquake in Turkey. There's this video that was floating around. I wonder if I can find it. Man, it's so crazy. It must have been a fake video then, since it's not circulating anymore. Because that should have been at the top. I mean, bro. buildings just collapse. There's a video of a building collapsing. I'm like, yo, who was it? Man, I'm just glad that I popped out of the right universe. Thank God I came out of the right universe, bro. You know, it's crazy. My daughter, they're starting to ask about like death and stuff. And I have to be like, God, do I go to religion or do I go to what I think? Do I tell them the truth? Do I give them religion? I didn't even know truth. The truth is nobody knows. And I don't want to tell them that, man. You know, I don't want to, because I remember my grandparents, man, my grandparents, super Christian. I remember my granddaddy told me, I remember they had been told me about heaven, but even heaven was scaring me, bro. I remember coming downstairs crying one night because I'm sitting there thinking about being somewhere forever, yo. Being in heaven forever. That does not sound fun, bro. I don't give a fuck how streets of, I'm sitting there trying to think, okay, well, how can we play games? Who's gonna lose? If everybody's happy, how we gonna play games if nobody can lose? You know, just something simple like that. How can we have fun forever? That'll get old. Even as like a 9-10-year-old, I was already like, that doesn't sound fun, bro. So it's like, what I told my daughter is kind of a Santa Claus story too, but this is what I kindly believe. I told her that depending on how you are in this life, this is what I said. If you're good and nice to people and treat people how you want to be treated, you get to go to a place where there are things that you like, everything that you like is there. And if you're mean and bad to people and do bad things, you go to a place where there are things where you don't like. And that's along the lines of what I actually believe. I actually believe that because it seems like life is just too random. Like, why am I me? Why did I come in this suit? Why am I in this environment? Why did I get the incredible luck of being an American, bro? Like, do you know how lucky you gotta be to be an American? You could have been born in this shit in Syria. You could have been born in Zimbabwe or somewhere in the Sahara Desert. Like, you could have been born in India. Like, I hope I'm not offending nobody, but you get what I'm saying. Like, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're an American, especially if you listen to this. So there has to be some type of, I would say, God that decides, okay, that life you did pretty good there. You're gonna go to this one. Like, I always get this analogy, and even though she's kind of old now, Beyonce and Jay-Z, right? Okay, there's this old lady who, okay, this is what I think happens when you die. Say you're this old lady who's nice, you do everything for everyone, you're lonely, but you do everything for everyone, you give everyone everything, you would give somebody the clothes off your back, you know, you never say no, people use you, they abuse you. You basically go through hell your whole life. Even though going through hell your whole life, you still give people everything. You're always nice. You hold the door open for people. And you die alone, by yourself. Even if you had a husband, he died before you. And you die giving, you know, just being an angel, basically. What if when that woman dies, she's reincarnated as Blue Ivy, somebody like Jay-Z and Beyonce's daughter. She gets to be born into this world. Like why does Blue Ivy get to be Blue Ivy? Why does she get to be born into a life of riches and fame? If I mean, it's not, it might be a hell, you know, but what determines who gets that life? And I think that lady that did that gets to be born into that world where she doesn't have to worry about anything. People love her. People know her for no reason. People giving her everything. She won't ever be hungry. You know, she'll never have to worry about money. I think that's what happens. I think what we do now determines where we go when we die, or what body we become when we die. So I like to look and be like, well, judge going off of my life right now, I must have been an okay person, because my life it could be better, of course, but I'm in America, you know, so I must have been like, you know, it's kind of a scary thought too, because it's kind of like you got to go through hell to get to heaven, because the only way I could be here is if I was somewhere. Going off of that, the only way I could end up here is I had to be somewhere that sucked to be here today. What's great about it is I don't remember it. So I'm a reincarnation type of guy. I think reincarnation makes the most sense. And even when you watch like people's that have near-death experiences, they talk about like leaving their body and then floating around. Like, there's this movie called Enter the Void, where basically this guy dies. It's a first-person movie, so you're looking at his eyes the whole time, and he dies, and he like floats around, and he like looks for another body, and at the end of the movie, he like goes into like this little baby. I think his sister. He turns into his sister's son or something like that. So that makes the most sense. Yeah, and I could go on and on about like Anunnaki, and I will. As this podcast grows, I think I'll get into a lot of that stuff, like the Anunnaki and Egypt, because I'm into that stuff too. The Joe Rogan podcast type stuff. But yeah, that's what I think happens when you die, man. I think your heaven and hell is also now. Like, that's the only thing. That's the only time. Isn't that crazy? Like, the only time that's real is like right now. It's gone. Right now. It's gone. Right now. It's gone. Right now. It's gone. It's kind of crazy. So, your heaven is basically where you are. Is what you make it right now. That's about it. That's been episode 2. How many views am I getting? How many episodes have I done? Come back and comment. Peace.